Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to reading class. So we are going to be doing our paired reading that goes with our story, Voyage Across the Solar System. I can't believe this is the last story in our Storytown book. That's so crazy to think that we're done with our third grade reading book. All right, so we're going to look at page 424. If you would please open up. And we're going to be reading and discussing some different comprehension strategies. So first of all, reading functional text. Okay, so bridge to reading for information. And we read a lot of information all the time. And so functional text is writing that is used by people every day. It is text that helps people answer questions and complete tasks. It can be found on a cereal box, in the newspaper, and in a telephone book. So we're going to read the notes on page 425 in just a second, and it says, how can the information help you read different kinds of functional text? So we're going to review some strategies. You can also use the strategies you learned in this theme to help you when you read functional text. So there's a lot of different skills that we practice each and every day when we're reading. So we want to look at some of those. And so the first one is ask yourself questions before, while, and after you read something. What information are you after? So maybe always think about the questions. We always say read the questions first so you know as you're reading, what is it that you're looking for? What directions will you need to follow and what will the outcome be? So that's why we always read the questions first, or we think about why are we reading this? And then read ahead. Read ahead to see if new information is presented that explains something. When following directions, read ahead to find out what you will need and what you will do. So as you read energy on page 426 and 427, think about where and how to use comprehension strategies. All right, so we're going to turn the page. And we're going to look at page 425. Now 425 has some very interesting pieces that we need to look at, and I'll get out of your way here. So the first thing are our guide words. So if you look up top, we use guide words all the time when we're looking in dictionaries, and they're in alphabetical order, so that's very helpful. So you can see guide words up top. The article is from an encyclopedia. The guide words are the first words on the page. These words help readers to locate information quickly. So we know if we were looking for energy in the encyclopedia, or if we were looking for the word in the dictionary, we know that we would go to E. And thinking of the alphabet, we know E would be found at the beginning of the alphabet. Then we go to the second letter, and we know N, so in the E section, we would go towards the middle. And we would start using the guide words and going up and using these letters to help us find the word energy on the page. Then we have the directions part. Directions for doing or making something are a kind of functional text. Use the numbers and art to help you follow the steps in order. So we've done sequence of events. So when we are trying to follow directions, we know that there's a certain order that things need to go in. And so we're going to read this on the next page, but you can see that right here it says make a pinwheel, and those are the directions, and you can see they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're following directions, you wouldn't start at 4, you wouldn't start at the end to get to the first step. You go in order. All right, and we'll keep on going for our next piece here, which is the graphic aids. And graphic aids such as maps, diagrams, and flowcharts can also help you to understand information quickly. And you can see right here, this is a flowchart because it has arrows and it tells you which way it goes. and they're very helpful. They give you extra information. All right, so if you would turn to page 426, and you can see there's our guide word up top, energy. We have our title, which is capitalized, and then we have part of a flow chart here, and we have an actual picture, a photograph, and then we have a caption. A sailboat uses wind energy. All right, so we have energy. And it says energy is all around us. We cannot see it, but we can see, hear, and feel its effects. So we can't see energy all the time, but we can see, hear, and feel its effects. When we watch the television, listen to the radio, or feel a room warm up, energy is being used. Energy does not disappear. It changes from one kind to another. So gasoline has energy stored in it. When it's used in a car, gasoline burns and gives out heat energy. As it makes the car go, the heat energy is turned into movement energy. So we're going to look down at the bottom. Actually, let's turn the page. We'll go back to our flow chart. So now we're going to look at the way you can actually make an item that will show you energy in motion. So make a pinwheel. All right, so cut slits in a square of cardboard. So you could do this, 10 inches by 10 inches. Make holes in the middle and corners as shown. So here's a square, and we know a square, all sides are equal and they have 90-degree angles. They want you to cut 10 inches by 10 inches and make holes in the center. Okay, so cut a square cardboard, 10 inch by 10 inch, 10 by 10, cut slits, okay, and then put a hole right there in the middle, and then holes in the corners. Then number 2, fold corners into middle and line up holes. So you can see here the slit, so you would bring the hole that you put in the corner and you would bring that hole up to the middle corner. So fold the corners into middle and fold and line up the holes. So as you fold it, you line up those holes. Then you're going to push a pin through, thread a bead on. This is cool. All right, so you're going to push a pin through that center and put a bead on it. Push pin through a strong plastic straw. So the push pin's right here, and you're going to push it through a straw, a bead and a piece of cork, blow pinwheels, and then blow the pinwheel to spin. That is so cool. So up top, you would have that cork, and you had the push pin going through, and so then you would be able to blow on this pinwheel, and you would see the air move the pinwheel. Which takes us back to energy is all around us. We cannot see it, but we can see, hear, and feel its effects. And there's the example of being able to feel the energy and see the pinwheel and feel the blowing of air moving it. That would be the energy. All right, so we're going to look down below, and it says all living things get their energy from the sun. Right here, all living things. And then we continue to move through our flow chart. Grass uses sunlight to make food. Cows eat the grass. So sun makes the food, which is the grass for the cows. The cows eat the grass. Then our flow chart moves on. Cows use energy from the grass to make milk. They eat the grass, that provides them energy. That energy helps them to make milk. Then our flow chart continues on. We drink the milk, which then contains energy for the human being. And then your body, this energy helps us lead an active life. So then we drink the milk that has energy, and that gives us energy to be active and to move around. And it all starts with the sun, which is pretty cool. All right, so we can make some inferences. So as a car goes faster, how does the amount of gasoline that it needs change? What do you know about cars and what you learned from the text? So hopefully you are seeing here that energy does not disappear. It changes from one kind to another. Gasoline has energy stored in it. When it's used in a car, gasoline burns and gives out heat energy. As it makes the car go, the heat energy is turned into movement energy. Okay, so I wanted you to give me a prediction. So I asked the question, and you can look right up here and reread that. So as a car goes faster, how does the amount of gasoline that it needs to change? So how does that amount of gasoline that it needs change? Well, I know that the car generates energy from gasoline. It makes the car move. So the car must use more gasoline and use its heat energy to create movement energy. And that makes sense because it makes the car go. So the heat energy is turned to movement energy. So what do you think? What do you think would happen if you held this pinwheel up into the air? What do you think? I'm pretty sure that the wind energy would make that pinwheel spin because the text says when you blow on it, it would spin. And we know that the energy we use to blow out would then move the pinwheel just like wind would. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed your reading and you learned something about energy today. I hope that you are constantly using different guide words, directions, graphic aids, anything that you can use to help you to understand what you're reading. Comprehension strategies will help you when you're reading informational text. Okay, and also obviously anytime you're reading, your comprehension strategies will help. But remember, try to use all of these different strategies. Ask questions to yourself. Ask questions before you read, while you're reading, and after you read. Why are you reading the article or book that you're reading? What directions do you need to follow? What will the outcome be? Read ahead if you have new information. Reread if you're confused and you need to go back and reread it again. Read ahead to find out what you'll need and what you will do. So I hope this helps you in your reading. Mrs. Joplin and I want to say that we miss you and we hope that you are staying happy and healthy. Take care.